There is something magical about travel. Whether it's the thrill of discovering a new place, the joy of visiting old friends, or the quiet pleasure of simply changing your surroundings, the idea of packing a bag and heading somewhere new can stir the heart no matter your age. For many of us in our 70s and beyond, the desire to explore never fades. We've worked hard, raised families, and navigated life's many ups and downs. Now, in this chapter of life, we may finally have the time to see the world at our own pace. And yet, there's a question that deserves honest reflection. Is travel still a good idea after 70? The truth is, travel after a certain age comes with both rewards and risks. Our bodies and minds have changed. What once felt effortless, long flights, heavy bags, busy itineraries, can now feel exhausting or even dangerous. And while that doesn't mean we must hang up our travel hats for good, it does mean we need to think more carefully, plan more wisely, and protect ourselves better than ever before. In the pages ahead, we'll walk through 5 important reasons why traveling after 70 can carry hidden challenges. These aren't meant to scare you, they're here to empower you. Because the more you understand about what lies ahead, the more confidently you can make choices that keep you safe, healthy, and at peace. Whether you're planning a cross-country road trip, a cruise with loved ones, or a dream vacation abroad, this guide will help you ask the right questions, prepare properly, and avoid the common pitfalls that catch too many seniors off guard. You've earned the right to enjoy life fully, but also wisely. So pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's explore what travel really means after 70, and how to make sure your next adventure brings joy instead of regret. At a certain age, even a simple trip can turn into something far more complicated than expected. When you're over 70, your body isn't quite as predictable as it once was, and traveling, especially long distances, can place a real strain on your health. Conditions that might have felt manageable at home, like high blood pressure or mild heart disease, can suddenly become emergencies in unfamiliar surroundings. Whether it's the dry air in an airplane, the long hours spent sitting, or the stress of adjusting to new time zones and climates, your body is working overtime, and that comes with risk. Imagine facing a medical emergency like chest pain or a breathing issue in a foreign country or even on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. And you might not have access to your regular doctor, the hospital may not be nearby or even up to the standards you're used to, and your insurance might not cover treatment at all. Many seniors are shocked to discover that Medicare doesn't cover international care, and unless you've purchased a separate travel insurance policy, you're on your own for everything from an ambulance ride to medication. Those costs can soar into the tens of thousands before you know it. It's not just dramatic emergencies you need to worry about. Something as common as dehydration or a urinary tract infection can escalate when you're far from home. Long flights raise the risk of deep vein thrombosis, bloods, which is particularly dangerous for older adults. Altitude and climate changes can aggravate respiratory conditions. Add in the stress of delayed flights, unfamiliar foods, and disrupted routines, and it's no wonder many seniors end up in urgent care during their travels. The best way to protect yourself isn't to give up travel entirely, but to be smart about it. See your doctor well before the trip, get a complete checkup, and ask if travel is safe for you. If it is, take all medications in their original bottles and pack extras just in case. Carry a list of your conditions and medications in your wallet. Most importantly, purchase travel insurance that includes medical coverage and emergency evacuation services. It's one of the smartest investments you can make at this stage in life. Preparation won't eliminate every risk, but it can give you peace of mind. And that's worth everything. One of the most overlooked dangers of travel after 70 is just how many germs and viruses you're suddenly exposed to. Think about it. Airports, planes, train stations, hotels, and restaurants are filled with strangers from all over the world. For someone in their 30s or 40s, catching a mild stomach bug or cold might be a passing nuisance. But for seniors, even a small infection can lead to serious complications and a long recovery. Our immune systems naturally weaken with age. That means your body is no longer as quick or strong when it comes to fighting off illnesses. Airplanes are notorious for being breeding grounds for bacteria. Passengers sit shoulder to shoulder for hours breathing recycled air. The tray table in front of you, it likely hasn't been cleaned since the last flight. And once you're on the ground, you're navigating public restrooms, hotel elevators, and transportation systems that may not be as sanitary as they appear. One of the most overlooked dangers of travel after 70 is just how many germs and viruses you're suddenly exposed to. Think about it. Airports, planes, train stations, hotels, and restaurants are filled with strangers from all over the world. For someone in their 30s or 40s, catching a mild stomach bug or cold might be a passing nuisance. But for seniors, even a small infection can lead to serious complications and a long recovery. Our immune systems naturally weaken with age. That means your body is no longer as quick or strong when it comes to fighting off illnesses. Airplanes are notorious for being breeding grounds for bacteria. Passengers sit shoulder to shoulder for hours breathing recycled air. The tray table in front of you, it likely hasn't been cleaned since the last flight. And once you're on the ground, you're navigating public restrooms, hotel elevators, and transportation systems that may not be as sanitary as they appear. Food can also pose a risk. Many travelers love trying new cuisines, and there's nothing wrong with that, unless the food isn't cooked thoroughly or it's washed in contaminated water. Seniors are especially vulnerable to foodborne illnesses like norovirus, E. coli, or salmonella, which can cause dangerous levels of dehydration and land you in the hospital. Even a salad rinsed in local tap water can make you sick if your body isn't used to the bacteria present in that region. Let's not forget the impact of respiratory illnesses like the flu or pneumonia, which can strike harder and last longer in older adults. You may be exposed to unfamiliar flu strains while traveling, especially during winter months or international flights. So what can you do? Start by being vigilant. Wash your hands regularly and bring hand sanitizer for moments when soap and water aren't available. Wear a mask in crowded indoor areas, especially during flu season. Avoid touching your face and be careful around high-touch surfaces like handrails, elevator buttons, and public counters. Drink only bottled or filtered water, and when in doubt, avoid raw foods. Stick to meals that are cooked thoroughly and served hot. If you're traveling abroad, check with your doctor about vaccinations or medications to protect against local diseases. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel under the weather, don't push through it. Rest, hydrate, and seek medical help if necessary. Staying healthy on the road is possible, but it requires extra attention, especially after 70. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. When you're younger, bouncing back from a long trip might only take a day or two, but after age 70, the body just doesn't recover the way it used to. Travel becomes a physical challenge in itself. Early mornings, long airport waits, cramped seats on airplanes, and constant motion can quickly drain your energy. Instead of feeling refreshed by the journey, many older adults return home feeling worse than before they left. Jet lag hits harder, especially when crossing time zones. You may find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. or falling asleep in the middle of the afternoon. A lack of restful sleep impacts more than your mood. It can weaken your immune system, impair memory and concentration, and increase the risk of heart problems. Add to that a strange mattress, a noisy hotel, or different weather, and your body might feel completely out of sync. Physical strain is another issue. Sitting for hours on a plane or bus causes stiff joints, swollen feet. Seniors with arthritis or poor circulation often find this type of immobility painful. Once you arrive, sightseeing often involves walking long distances, climbing stairs, and standing for long periods. Even getting in and out of vehicles, carrying bags, or keeping up with a tour group can become exhausting. And then there's food and hydration. When you're out of your routine, it's easy to skip meals, eat unfamiliar dishes, or forget to drink enough water. Dehydration is more common during travel than most people realize, and in older adults, it can cause fatigue, dizziness, and confusion. A trip you hoped would be fun and energizing can instead leave you feeling weak, achy, and foggy. The good news? There are ways to make travel easier. First, pace yourself. Don't overload your schedule with non-stop activities. Build in rest days, quiet mornings, and early nights. Choose non-stop or short flights when possible, and don't hesitate to request wheelchair assistance at airports to reduce walking. Stretch your legs during flights and drink plenty of water. Bring snacks that agree with you and avoid heavy meals late in the day. Most importantly, honor your limits. You've earned the right to travel on your own terms. Don't feel pressured to do it all. Taking it slow isn't a sign of weakness, it's smart planning. Travel should add joy to your life, not exhaustion. By giving your body the space to rest and recover, you'll enjoy the journey far more and feel stronger when you return home. One of the most dangerous yet often overlooked risks of traveling after age 70 is the increased chance of falling. At home, you've likely set up your space with care, non-slip rugs, grab bars, well-lit pathways. But once you're out in the world, all that predictability disappears. Suddenly, you're faced with unfamiliar sidewalks, uneven stairs, poorly lit hallways, or slippery lit hallways or slippery cruise decks, and all it takes is one misstep to change everything. Falls are no small matter for older adults. A broken hip or wrist can mean surgery, months of rehab, or even permanent mobility loss. What might be a simple stumble for a younger person can become a life-altering injury at 75 or older. Add the stress of being in a new place, possibly in another country where you don't speak the language or understand the healthcare system, and the situation can become overwhelming. Consider how many travel environments are not senior-friendly. Some older buildings don't have elevators. Tour buses may require climbing narrow steps. Sidewalks in historic towns may be charming, but they're also often cracked or cobbled. Hotel bathtubs may be slippery with no grab bar in sight. Even getting out of bed in the dark in an unfamiliar room can be hazardous. Fatigue makes things worse. When your body is tired, your balance suffers, your reaction time slows, you're more likely to trip or lose your footing when trying to keep up with a group or rushing through a busy airport. To protect yourself, plan ahead. Choose destinations and accommodations that are known for accessibility. When booking hotels or cruises, ask about elevators, ramps, and walk-in showers. Wear supportive shoes with good grip, and never walk on slick or uneven surfaces without proper footwear. A walking stick or cane can offer added stability, even if you don't use one at home. Take your time, don't let anyone rush you, rest when needed, especially if your joints are sore or your energy dips, and consider using a personal alert system or carrying a mobile device that works abroad, just in case of emergencies. Being prepared won't eliminate all risks, but it can prevent a simple fall from becoming a major setback. Remember, your safety isn't something to compromise for the sake of adventure. There's a big world out there, but it's not worth seeing if it puts your long-term independence at risk. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Change everything. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of planning a vacation, booking a cruise, dreaming about tropical beaches, or imagining time spent with loved ones. But if you're over 70, it's also essential to take a hard look at the financial side of travel. Many seniors don't realize just how risky it can be until something goes wrong, and by then it may be too late. Let's start with medical coverage. Most Medicare plans don't pay for healthcare outside the United States. That means if you fall ill or need emergency surgery while abroad, you could be facing tens of thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket costs. Even in countries with affordable healthcare, evacuation to a proper hospital or back home can cost as much as a new car. And without travel insurance that includes medical benefits, you'll be responsible for it all. Trip cancellations are another hidden danger. Many older travelers plan trips months in advance, hoping they'll be healthy when the date arrives. But health is unpredictable. A single unexpected illness, injury, or family emergency can force you to cancel your trip, and if you didn't buy trip insurance, you might not get a penny back. Airlines, cruises, and hotels are often unforgiving when it comes to last-minute changes. Scams are also a growing threat. Seniors are frequently targeted by fraudsters who advertise fake vacation deals, overcharge for transportation, or steal credit card information. It only takes one slip to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and in a new environment, it's easier than you think to be taken advantage of. To travel wisely, be cautious. Buy travel insurance that includes both medical and trip cancellation coverage. Read the fine print. Make bookings through reputable travel agents or well-reviewed websites. Be wary of deals that seem too good to be true. They usually are. Keep your credit cards and cash secure, and don't share financial details with strangers. Budget for the unexpected. Bring extra funds or a backup card in case something goes wrong. and let someone at home know your plans in case you need help quickly. Travel can still be enjoyable after 70, but it requires more planning, more protection, and more awareness than it once did. With the right steps, you can reduce financial stress and protect your savings so that your trip becomes a joyful memory instead of a financial burden. One of the most overlooked challenges of travel after 70 is sticking to your medication schedule and daily health routines. Many older adults depend on a strict regimen of pills, vitamins, or treatments that help manage chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or arthritis. But once you hit the road or board a plane, those routines can be easily disrupted. Time zone changes make it hard to remember when to take each medication. It's also easy to forget a dose when you're caught up in sightseeing or dealing with flight delays. Some medications need to be taken with food or at specific times of day, and that's not always possible when you're constantly on the move. There's also the issue of transporting medications safely, especially those that require refrigeration or special handling. Not every hotel or cruise ship can accommodate those needs. In other countries, even getting a replacement for a lost or damaged prescription can be difficult due to language barriers or different drug names. To make matters worse, over-the-counter products you might rely on back home, like antacids or pain relievers, may be unavailable or different overseas. Travel can throw your health routine into disarray, which increases the risk of complications or discomfort during your trip. If you must travel, plan ahead carefully. Carry enough medication for extra days, keep a list of your prescriptions, and pack them in your carry-on bag, not your checked luggage. Stick as closely as you can to your usual schedule, and talk with your doctor about how to manage your medications if you're crossing time zones. A little planning can help avoid a lot of stress. While travel may sound fun and exciting, it's important to remember that it can also be mentally and emotionally stressful, especially for older adults. Being far from home means leaving behind your comfort zone, support system, and familiar routines. For seniors who rely on the comfort of routine and familiarity, the sudden change can bring anxiety, confusion, or even loneliness. Airports and crowded tourist spots can be overwhelming, and trying to navigate unfamiliar streets or public transportation can cause stress, especially if mobility is limited or if you're not confident with technology. There's also the mental strain of being away from your doctor, caregiver, or loved ones, people you rely on when something doesn't feel right. Even the fear of getting sick or injured while abroad can weigh heavily on your mind and affect your ability to relax. And for seniors with early memory issues or cognitive decline, being in a different setting can sometimes trigger disorientation or agitation. That's why emotional preparation is just as important as physical planning when it comes to travel. If you do choose to go somewhere, make sure you bring comfort items from home, stay in close contact with family, and don't be afraid to take things slow. Travel should add peace and pleasure to your life, not stress and strain. Recognizing when a trip may be more taxing than enjoyable is a form of self-care that should never be underestimated. Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.